With one of the largest global economies, China is a tempting market for many U.S. exporters. But recent geopolitical tensions have added a layer of complexity. So should U.S. exporters still consider breaking into the Chinese market? I'm Kari Crane, editor of Shipping Solutions' international trade blog Passages. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to this question, but in this video, I'll explain many of the considerations so you can decide if exporting to China is a good option for you. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our Basics of Exporting videos, sharing practical advice for exporters and importers. Before you consider exporting to China, you need to understand both the opportunities and the challenges. I'll explain those along with the process of exporting to China, including documentation and compliance requirements. Exporting to China is difficult for many reasons, including unpredictability, which was demonstrated during the COVID-19 pandemic, increasing costs to operate with the country. Deciphering the many, often conflicting Chinese rules and regulations can be frustrating in the least and, at worst, cause issues that force an exporter to stop trade to the country completely. A government-led emphasis on self-reliance is creating uncertainty for foreign businesses. It continues to be a challenging environment for intellectual property protection. While those risks loom large, the potential rewards may as well. China's status as a global manufacturing powerhouse is a huge driver of growth and potential. China's rapidly aging population, shrinking labor force, and falling return on capital can open opportunities for American exporters. American products continue to be viewed favorably by Chinese consumers. If you do decide that the benefits outweigh the considerations, these are some of the places where you can get trusted assistance. The U.S. Commercial Service Office in China, district export councils, trade missions sponsored by state and local trade offices, the International Trade Administration, the U.S.-China Chambers of Commerce. You will learn more about how these agencies can help you in our blog article about exporting to China. You'll find a link below. The documents you will need when exporting to China will vary depending on your products, but include the following: a bill of lading, commercial invoice, packing list, sales contract, pro forma invoice, certificate of origin signed by a local chamber of commerce, and a customs declaration. You can download free PDFs of these documents on the Shipping Solutions website. Depending on the Incoterms 2020 trade term you choose, you'll probably also need an insurance policy, and you will be required to file your electronic export information through AES if the value of your shipment is more than $2,500 per Schedule B code. There are also some more specialized documents that may be required: an import quota certificate for general commodities, an import license, an inspection certificate issued by the General Administration of Quality Supervision, Inspection and Quarantine, or its local bureau, and other safety or quality licenses. The Chinese importer will gather the documents necessary for importing goods and provide them to Chinese custom agents. You are more likely to need an export license shipping to China than if you were shipping to Canada. It's a part of the world where more items are controlled, so you need to understand what is required of you and what you risk if you don't comply. The first step is determining who has jurisdiction over your goods. Most likely the U.S. Department of Commerce under the Export Administration Regulations or the State Department's Directorate of Defense Trade Controls. If they fall under the jurisdiction of the Commerce Department, which most products do, you must determine if your export requires authorization from the Bureau of Industry and Security. You need to answer the following questions. What is the Export Commodity Control Number, or ECCN, of the item? Where is it going? Who is the end user? And what is the end use? By making sure your product is classified correctly, you'll be protecting the U.S. from threats abroad and protecting yourself from severe fines, penalties, and even jail time. Companies must use the ECCN codes and reasons for control described above to determine whether or not there are any restrictions for exporting their products. Exporters should refer to the Commerce Country Chart in the EAR to determine if a license is required. If it is, you must apply to BIS for an export license before you can export your products. Restricted party lists, also called denied party lists, are lists of organizations, companies, or individuals that various U.S. agencies and other foreign governments have identified as parties that one can't do business with. Restricted party screening refers to the process in which a company checks the potential customer or business partner against one or more of the government bad guy lists to ensure they are not doing business with a denied party. When exporting to China, you must check every single restricted party list every time you export. If you're an exporter who is considering exporting to China, consider this. Shipping Solutions export documentation software can help you quickly create the necessary documents and stay compliant with export regulations. You can easily find your product's classification, perform restricted party screening, determine if an export license is required, and complete all the required export documents quickly and accurately. Let us show you how it works. Click here to watch a video demo of the software, or click the link below to schedule a free live demo. There's no obligation. And to learn more about exporting, subscribe to this channel and to our free international trade blog, linked below.